jump to a move called in a volume. Here it is, which is just kind of an index for all the things you can do while we're in a volume. So there's generally two modes in Downcrawl. You're either in a volume and doing stuff, or you're on a journey between volumes, and you'll kind of alternate between those two kind of modes of play. But there's a lot of different things we could do when we're in a volume. A thing we want to do right now, though, is we want to update our map and learn about new routes. So we're going to visit the map room. So every volume has a map room, as this move text says. It might be a public message board where people post notices. It might be, just like an ancient archive, a cobweb tower. But there's some place where travelers share records or store information about the world. Because this is a huge part of living in the deep, deep down, is navigating, these complex shifting routes between places. When you first visit the map room, describe it. Remove the current volume from the map dip and shuffle it, lay out up to 5 cards face up. These are the archives here. So because we've just kind of started, we have less than 5 cards. So all the places we know about are going to be here. So I'm just going to mix these up. We're going to put them face down. So there are 3 places in this map room. Now, one thing you might notice is because we've written on the back of some of these, you can sort of tell what they are. Generally speaking, if you get to a point where it actually matters that you draw something at random and you don't know what it is, you can just kind of take the cards and, hold them under the table or out of your sight and move them around and draw one at random. A lot of times it doesn't actually matter, but that's how you deal with that if that comes up. Okay, when you do research in the map room, choose an option. And repeat when you like until you run out of archives or tack, because some of these cost tack. Okay, so our options are we can draw a blind from the archive, or we can spend 1 tack to take a specific card from the archive and learn something about it. So yeah, I think that's what we want to do because we really want to learn more about the Crimson Wasteland. So I'm going to spend 1 of our tack, which are up here off the map, to pull the Crimson Wasteland. We'll keep these other 2 in the archive. And now I get to play an option that's possible for this volume card. So there's a bunch of things we can do. We can read the guidebook to learn more about it. We can find out if it has a connection to somewhere. That seems probably like what we need to do. So actually, I think this option is what we want to play. So secret route. If this volume is unconnected to any other, which is currently true, draw from the map deck or archive until you get a place it can connect to and add a route between them. Okay, and because we have a fairly new map, we're a little limited in our options here. I drew Lone Mountain, and that's fine because that's sheltered, so that can take another connection. So we have learned through the map room here in Catacomb City that the Crimson Wasteland is connected to Lone Mountain. Okay, cool. So we could spend our last tack to try to learn more about the Crimson Wasteland, but I don't think we want to do that because tack is kind of hard to come by, and it's a really useful resource for journeys. So, but what we can do for free is draw something at random. And we have a 1 in 3 chance of learning something about the Crimson Wasteland. And even if we don't, we'll learn something useful anyway. So I think let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to shuffle these cards under the table. I don't have to spend tack on this option. I drew the Ooze Hollows. Okay, well, not what I wanted, but that's fine. Let's read the guidebook to learn something about the Ooze Hollows. We know that it's the lair of an ancient beast and it's cramped burrows. Let's learn another theme about it, I think. So we have anarchy or mecha. Mecha is really interesting to imagine this. Wow. Yeah, are there people who worship the ancient ooze beast? I think there are. Yeah, I think there are. Well, that takes us in a different direction. The mecca of the Ooze Hollows. Yeah, I think if it's like we sort of mentioned like seasonal thing like hibernation. So maybe it's a thing where when the season is right, all the followers of the ooze beast gather to witness its emergence from the burrows in which it slumbers. Uh, yeah, very good. All right, but always interesting.